Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The BTV Network presents Shooting from the Hip with Dr. Dipperlip. And now here's your host, Dr. Dipperlip.
Greetings, race fans, assorted rogues, rascals, and scoundrels. This is Shooting from the Hip with yours truly, Dr. Dipperlip. We're here under the Twin Steeples in Bluegrass Country in Kentucky, getting ready for the big Breeders' Bowl Day. The trainers and owners are starting to be all over the place. The steak barns are full of the best horses in the world, and we have a great show in store for you. In fact, I've tried to make sure that we were going to be able to get in our whole show this week. I had our lovely announcer, DJ K, drop a dime and call track security, and she told them that Stoners and Texas Ace would be dueling to the death with sabers behind the kitchen on the backstretch. So that should keep the fuzz out of our hair for a little while. We have a big show today. We'll be handicapping a couple of the big races, the Breeders' Bowl Classic and the Turf Classic. Also, we have to let you know, Bentnose and I found some interesting tidbits on the backstretch this week, and we did some hard investigative reporting and found a giant conspiracy involving the racing world. Now, you know, the executive producers of the show, that rodent Squirrel and that empty beer can hoarder Royce, decided that the show needed a bit of a feminine influence, and so what I've done is I've brought out of retirement the owner-trainer Ravenwing. Some of you may remember she had that great colt, Pleasant Nijinsky, over $6 million in wins, including the Travelers and the Sandcastle Classic. So, welcome to the show, Ravenwing.
Hi, Dr. Dipperlip. It's nice to be here.
Oh, it's wonderful for you to be here, too. Nothing I like better than pretty women. Well, of course, I also like drugs and alcohol and gambling, but, well, pretty women work pretty darn good for Dr. Dipperlip. Now, we do have some great things coming up, but before we get going on the rest of the show, time to pay some of the bills, and Bentnose and Three Pinky Ring Finger Frankie have let us know that Bentnose, that's me! I'm the star of the show, Bentnose! Come on now. Now, the lads have let us know that the Tonya Harding handicapping service, the phones have been ringing off the hook, trainers calling them, looking for a little extra help in their races. In fact, the Evil Empire and Lenny, we've heard, has invested quite a bit of money with our... Bentnose, over here, Bentnose, remember? I'm the star. Okay, and the Tonya Harding handicapping service, Lenny has dropped a ton of money on the boys because he wants his great mare, Clark County, to win her third consecutive filly and mare sprint. He thinks he owns that race. So basically, he's going to make sure that the boys take out every horse in the race so that she can go down as being perhaps a 3-time Breeders' Bowl winner, never to have won an Eclipse Award. We'll be right back with a hard-hitting investigative report on a controversy that affects not only the racing world, but the sporting world in general. When you're out partying hard, do what Dr. Dipperlip does. Reach for a cool, refreshing Bear Whiz beer. Ah, boy, that's good. Brewed in Trenton, New Jersey, from the pristine waters of the Delaware River. Reach for a Bear Whiz beer. It's in the water. While Bentnose and I have been on the backstretch and around Louisville on Breeders' Bowl week, we kept hearing all these rumors about a great controversy affecting the racing world, and as we dug in deeper, we found out not only did it affect the racing world, but it also affected the sporting world in general. We dug deep, we dug hard, we tried to get all the facts. We're going to present them now. We call this piece the Super Stables, Project domination. The Super Stables, 3 owners, AFC, Top Account, and Whirlwind. They began the stables to pool their resources and to win races. At least that's what they'd like you to think. Although what they would like you to think is they are a physician, an attorney, and a restaurateur. What they don't want you to know is that their wealth is beyond imagination, and their influence around the world runs deep. From the CIA to the Masonic Lodge, to the Mossad, to La Cosa Nostra, to Opus Dei, to La Casa Pizza, the Russian mob, and everything in between. Their tentacles run deep, and they pull the strings that make everything work. Project Domination. The idea was to dominate modern racing. But they needed help. They couldn't just do it themselves. They found Bill Gulch, the racing czar of the world, the commissioner of all racing. They tried to bribe him. They tried to use influence. Great things were brought to bear on Big Bill Gulch before he finally succumbed, because the supers dangled a carrot in front of him that was just too much to resist. What the supers demanded. They wanted to win all 3 of the Triple Jewel races, the Bluegrass Derby, the Middle Jewel, and the New Yorker. They also wanted a Horse of the Year. That would be their defining moment. What they offered to Bill Gulch was beyond his wildest expectations. He finally capitulated, and soon the supers won the Bluegrass Derby. Virtuoso was a winner in that race. But they were denied in the Middle Jewel. But Virtuoso gave them the 3rd part, the New Yorker. Bill Gulch told them he didn't promise they would win all 3 of them in 1 year, and he stalled and stalled. But eventually, in the Middle Jewel, the supers' horse, Jeepster, won. They had finally won all 3 Triple Jewel races. All that remained was Horse of the Year. The voting was tight, but of course, I believe Bill Gulch manipulated the results so that Jeepster was named Horse of the Year. Now it was time for the supers to pay off. And they did. And just to show how deep their influences ran, just after Jeepster was announced as the Horse of the Year, the unthinkable, the unbelievable happened. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Gulch had finally realized his dream. Finally, after years and years, the supers gave him what he had longed for. That's right. The supers had arranged for the New Orleans Saints to win the Super Bowl. Bill Gulch's penultimate dream had finally come true. Was it worth it to him? Did he give up too much for the victory? Bill Gulch has never been seen in a photograph, but Dr. Dipperlip and Bentnose found one of Bill Gulch celebrating the Saints' victory. From the Hip invited both the supers and Bill Gulch to comment on the story. Both adamantly refused to comment or to appear on camera with us. Here's what happened when we tried to visit the supers. Bent Nose and I are going to try and get a comment from the Super Stables about the super racing conspiracy. We've managed to track them down. They're having drinks in the lounge of their luxury hotel. We've managed to sneak in and get past everybody so far, and there they are. On the left is Whirlwind. In the center there is Top Account. And on the right is AFC. So far, so good. Nobody's gotten to us. Super Stables, Dr. Dipperlip from the BTB. We'd like to get a comment on the super conspiracy and the big controversy.
It's those two idiots from the BTB. Somebody get security.
Hotel security.
Come on, Bentnose, let's get out of here. Come on. And now, here's what happened when Bentnose and I went to Bill Gulch's compound. Bentnose and I are coming up to the entrance to the Bill Gulch compound. We're going to try and get in to get a comment from Bill Gulch about the super conspiracy. Unfortunately, it looks like we have our first obstacle. At the entrance is Bill Gulch's henchman, or should I say assistant, or chief of security. It's King Ab. King Ab, BTB Network, Dr. Dipperlip, and Bentnose. We'd like to get in to see Bill Gulch to ask him about the super conspiracy.
Oh, Jesus Christ, not you two again. Bill Gulch has no comment on these ridiculous allegations.
Come on, we only need a couple of minutes. Just give us a couple of minutes.
I have warned you two jackasses that you are trespassing. We have taken a restraining order to keep you away from the compound and added extra security that are heavily armed with orders to shoot first and ask questions later. Now get lost before I let the dogs loose on you.
Oh, man. Come on. What a creep. Come on, Bentnose. Let's get out of here. And there you have it. The entire story. Fact, fiction, libel, slander, innuendo, rumor, global conspiracy. You decide. You, the viewer. Dr. Dipperlip has given you all the facts. We'll be right back. What kind of day did you have? Did you close that $10 million deal? Or did you find out you're about to be fired because of that $5 million sexual harassment suit? Did you go to the track and that 35-to-1 shot came in like a champ? You're now very, very rich and you don't have to tell your wife? Or did that 1-to-9 shot make you want to jump off a bridge when it finished up the track? No matter what the occasion, do what Dr. Dipperlip does. Pour yourself some Markers Make Kentucky bourbon whiskey. See the beautiful color. Enjoy those wonderful aromas. Sample that beautiful taste. And then continue to drink yourself into oblivion until you black out and you can no longer remember why you started drinking in the first place. Markers Make Kentucky bourbon whiskey. In victory you deserve it. In defeat you need it. Well, we've just about made it through the show. I guess that...
Hey! Track security! Get them, men!
Crikey, it's the fuzz! Again! Ravenwing, time for us to go! Oh yeah! Bigger bets, better mutuals. Hi, Ma!
Will Dr. Dipperlip make it out of Kentucky alive? Will Bentnose hit on Ravenwing? Who will be the big winner on Saturday? Tune into our next show for all the answers. This is DJ K reminding you that even a bad day at the track is better than a good day anywhere else.